So women, you're wondering, why aren't men wanting to commit to women anymore? Why are men just wanting to stay away from women, far, far away, not marry, not commit, not have children, and potentially even just pump and dump? Well, you got it right here. You continue with this feminist movement, never-ending demands on men, constant blaming, shaming, entitled attitude. You want to continue to compete with men instead of just be with men and be feminine, be beautiful, be a woman. If you want to do that, kiss your prospects for a marriage and a committed man goodbye.
Today I'm going to be sharing kind of a not very nice truth here, that if you think there's no good guys left, this could in fact be your fault. And I'm not saying that to be a dick or mean or anything like that. I'm just a huge believer from my experience of teaching literally tens of thousands of men and women how to date.
You know what? It turns out that most men don't really want a woman who acts like a demanding, entitled asshole, who shame them, who constantly blame them, and who constantly ask them to change or do better. It turns out, I mean, can't believe this is such a surprise, but it turns out that men don't really like when women call them all toxic and say that they're always doing things wrong and that their masculine traits and the things that they're offering to women are being unappreciated.
Women today, like I said, they're not ladylike. They walk around, they want to dress skimpy, they want to put on enough makeup to where they start looking like a transsexual. They want to wear fake this, fake that, fake hair on their head, fake eyelashes, where they look like they dressed up for Halloween night. They getting surgery, they getting their lips blown up, they getting their butts done, their breasts done. Nothing's real anymore, and it's all done to impress not only men but other women. Women are in competition with each other.
The rewards for men in these fields, especially in marriage, is so much less than it used to be, and the costs and dangers are so high that I think a lot of men are opting out. And we can definitely see this, particularly online, where at least men can kind of get on and speak up. And you see that on the Reddit, like in some of the forums on Reddit or other places where men can actually talk about some of these issues and give their opinions in a more free manner. And I think guys just feel like there's just not that much in it for them. If you're a man and you have kids, in today's world, you're expected to earn a living. You're expected to come home, clean the house, and fix, do the dishes and everything. And of course, if you're not able to do all of that, you're called a loser, you're called names. And then if you do actually do all those things, then you're called a beta male. So it just, you really can't win.
So when it comes to dating, the first date is an opportunity to kind of have some fun, enjoy doing something together, and get to know if there is enough to continue dating. But be very careful of being like, oh, I just didn't feel the spark. Oh, it was okay, but not that great. No, I'm not too keen on seeing that person again, because you could be eliminating kind of too early before you're allowing things to develop.
If other women were not whores and willing to lay down and flirt with a married man or a man in a relationship, and this kind of stuff wouldn't happen. Men wouldn't be able to do this kind of stuff. They wouldn't be able to cheat on you as often. They wouldn't be able to run off or sleep with a woman they just met if the woman wouldn't be willing to do it. So instead of running around blaming men, men are only going along with what women have allowed.
I want to go back now to what you were talking about before with marriage specifically, and how that's become not as, it's just a better deal for women than it is for men. And so much of that has to do, as you were explaining, that it's not as though men can be primarily responsible for providing for their family, although they're still expected to do that as much as they ever were.
Yes, in fact, the Pew Research Center did a study, and they found that the majority of people still expect men to provide for families, particularly,
Right, and that's all fine, except when you're adding on to that, oh, and by the way, when you come home, you're not going to have any moment to breathe, and you're going to have no time for yourself, and there's no place where you can go as a man and be alone with men because those spaces are gone, yada, yada, yada. So basically, you're a slave to your life.
Like 50 years. Let's go back to your grandparents and your great-grandparents. Everybody think about your great-grandparents. Do you think, and I'm generalizing here, typically they were married, when they had children. And I want you to think about this. Do you think that when your great-grandmother met your great-grandfather, the first day she met him, she slept with him? Probably not. Back then, women were ladylike. They wore dresses, they covered their bodies, they had a man court them. You know, then if they were gonna be with that man, they typically wanted to be married to that man before they had their children or whatnot. Or if they had a child with that man, they got married afterwards. And women from those times, like your great-grandmother, probably only have slept with 1 or 2 partners in their whole life. I know female acquaintances my age that have slept with 60, 70, 80 men, 5 men a year since the age of 16, 15. You know, that adds up, believe it or not. And they don't see nothing wrong with that.